Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6. Well, after a 48-hour hiatus, good afternoon, John.
Good afternoon, Ben. How are you?
Well, yeah, now that I can actually access the studio, I'm pretty good. How are you?
All right. Looking
She's-
fat.
You're fine, John. You look wonderful.
I'm not convinced.
Oh, come on, let's not start the show off on a low. You do look good. You look lovely. Give me a smile.
I'm smiling.
In Scottish. You're smiling in Scottish, aren't you?
Smiling inside.
You're smiling inside. Now, before we get into the show, I think we should start on the clickbait that is the title and thumbnail. Lady Gaga, is that you? Now, this won't be the type of discussion that people thought it possibly could be, because we can see this slide here that's being spread on Twitter, and we can see Hunter Biden, we can see a woman with a hair knot, and we can see an imposed picture of Lady Gaga, obviously having just engaged in some kind of narcotic-fueled sexual act by the looks of it. Is this Lady
It's a big
Gaga?
assumption.
Well, yeah, well, this is Hunter Biden. I think it's an apt assumption.
Okay.
An assumption is. But is this Lady Gaga, John?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's definitely not. It's definitely not Lady Gaga. And this is the point, right? Because I don't know how well you can see this on screen, but I'm just going to drag my mouse around this arm here. And the person who made this slide, and this is how dangerous misinformation and how damaging misinformation can be, right? Because the person who made this slide obviously also knew this was not Lady Gaga, because they have purposely pixelated the arm tattoo of this woman. Why would they do that, John?
Because Lady Gaga doesn't have an arm tattoo.
Well, exactly. But why would they want to do this? It's obviously somebody who doesn't like Lady Gaga. But...
Or they just want to do it for clicks and giggles like we did for
the title.
The Russian TIE fighter.
Yeah, the Russian TIE fighter. But John...
Well, the Russian TIE fighter was actually done to show how easy it is to manipulate the people.
I think this is what this is as well, but aimed at the class of people who would normally believe a quote unquote conspiracy, right? It's affirmation, fake affirmation, but it's affirmation nonetheless to people's predisposed beliefs, shall we say? Now, John showed me who this could have been. Like, look, this is John. What have we got here?
Well, is that Lady Gaga?
Well,
it's just a blonde. It's a blonde with a bun, you know.
Well, this is it. It's a blonde with a bun, and people are going, "Oh, Lady Gaga, is that you?" But this is the problem. Misinformation is real. It exists. It's on all sides of the aisle, and it will come at you to affirm your core belief from anywhere. And you've got to be very wary of it. You've got to be very careful of it. But, John, would you like... I'm pretty sure I've discovered who this actually is in this photo.
Who do you think it is, Ben?
Now, look, look. Go back to the first photo. Look at this picture. Look at it carefully, right?
Yeah.
It's not Lady Gaga. We know that because of the pixelation on the arm tattoo.
Yep.
But we've never seen the arm tattoos of the person that I think it is, or could be. It's Kim Woodburn, John. And that right
she'd
there.
probably clean the place up afterwards, wouldn't she?
Oh, she'd definitely clean the place up afterwards. It would be kind of handy, I guess. But it's just as likely to be Kim Woodburn as it is to be Hunter Biden's fling with a Lady Gaga. This is what we're trying to say here. So when you see things like this on the internet, sharing rapidly on places like Twitter, just be bloody careful. Because though it may affirm something that you claim to believe, it's probably not true. That's all I'm saying. There are bad actors on all sides. There are bad actors that will try and debunk something you may believe. There are bad actors that will try and affirm something you may believe. But don't believe anything you see. And, or don't believe anything you hear and only half of what you see. And that's what we tried to convey on this. We give you our opinion. We tell you what we think, what we think is going on and what we think the news is. But we don't tell you to believe as we do. We want you to make your own decisions. And that is the fundamental difference between this show and many others you will see. But this, ladies and gentlemen, no. Lady Gaga, it is not. John.
And with that, I'd like to welcome you all to this Chasing Dissent Live, episode 171.
So, just quickly before we do get into it, the reason we were not live yesterday is because I, stupidly, locked myself out of the studio. The studio's got several locks on it. One of them's a padlock, right? I locked myself out. I could not find the key. Still have not found the key. So had to go to Screwfix in the evening, get a lovely big set of bolt cutters, cut the bolt off and replace it. But we are back. We were back last night. We did a live stream over on the other channel last night, but it was very, very sad indeed. My wife was taking the piss out of me the entire time, John.
Yes, and why not? Why not? And I'd like to extend a special thank you to Belladonna for attending today after last night. Oh no, that wasn't Belladonna. That was Bella Hawkman last night.
Same person. Same person.
All right, okay. I'd like to thank you for attending last night on our Fortnite stream and playing better than Adam.
Yeah, you did play better than...
Certainly better than me.
you did play better than Adam. Yeah. Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
There we go, John. Anyway, Trudy says, afternoon, everyone. Glad you're back, Ben and John. You know what? I saw a tweet from Trudy yesterday. Just our blank page where our show should have been, worried about us. And I thought...
Oh, that's nice. I did put a message up saying that everything was fine with us. It was just an issue of access.
Adam says, hello all, I heard that.
Oh dear, did he? Oh dear.
Was he meant to hear that? I think he was.
Really, do you think I care?
Improve your game, Adam. And we might be back tonight. We might not. We don't know. But we might be back tonight to play some more Fortnite over on the second channel, 100 Acre Swamp. Adam says he's very upset, and Trudy says she didn't see your message saying that it was a matter of access. Yeah, so it was my fault. The key to the old lock is gone. I got them bolt cutters, struggled, and I cut the lock off, and we're back. Anyway, shall we kick off with the news, John?
Yeah, okay. So this is very much in the public eye just now. This Oxfordshire County Council trial of climate lockdowns, effectively.
Yeah.
You know, the 15-minute zone, which you need to ask permission to leave, or do you? Do you really need to ask permission to leave?
Well.
Apparently, they're going to use cameras and registration number recognition to give you fines if you leave without permission. But again, can they? Is that legal? I mean, let's
I
just
don't
for an
think
instant,
so.
just for an instant, let's play them at their own game. Right?
Yeah.
I've got a pass.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I've got a pass, and issued by the government, and inside that pass, the first page says, Her Britannic Majesty's Secretary of State requests and requires, right, in the name of Her Majesty, now this will obviously be changed to
His Majesty.
His Majesty, all those to whom it may concern to allow the bearer to pass freely without let or hindrance, and to offer the bearer such assistance and protection as is necessary. Now, that just doesn't apply. That just doesn't apply abroad. That applies everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think that applies to Oxfordshire County Council. So Oxfordshire County Council, in my book, can go and take a flying fuck to them.
So what they are...
I certainly would not be abiding by this.
No, I wouldn't.
Ridiculous attempt at controlling people, putting them in their box, making them battery hens, instigating a Hunger Games type society.
Well, no,
fuck off.
No, John, because they're saying you can go wherever you want, whenever you want. You can only take your car 100 times a year.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you have the right to travel.
You have the right to travel.
And the right to travel, if it involves a car, is your right.
What about disabled people?
They can still go and take a fuck.
What about people like me?
They can go and take a fuck. I don't care.
No, but what I'm saying...
I mean, they try to implement this anywhere I live, and I will certainly be ignoring it. And you know what?
Absolutely.
Number plate recognition counts for fuck all when you don't have an address.
Once again, absolutely. But the point is, someone like me who has a car specifically because I can't walk to the shop, specifically because I can't do things like that, right? What they're going to do? They're going to give us an exemption. We shouldn't. First of all, we shouldn't need one. But second of all, because it shouldn't exist.
You can't allow this. If you allow this, well, people will allow it though. That's the thing. People go, oh well, it's for the good of the planet. Fuck the planet. Fuck it. Who gives a fuck?
When it comes to something like this, when it comes to the choice of my freedom or my children's freedom versus the planet, I'm picking me and my kids every single time. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Yeah. And may I call you back to Monday, right?
Right.
A burp from a volcano puts out more CO2 than the human race ever has.
Yep.
Right? So what's the planet doing for you that you're not doing to the planet?
What exactly?
I mean, come on, people. The planet's fine. The planet's not going to make any difference. I mean, 1998, they said we'd be underwater in Florida and New York City and Vanuatu and the Maldives. And none of that has come to pass.
Every time they say something, it doesn't come to pass. Now, are we saying that climate is not changing? No. Let me finish, John. Let me finish.
You can sail right across the Arctic now because there's no sea ice, is there?
No.
Oh, hold on. And there's no polar bears. The polar bears have all died, haven't they? No, that's not right. There's more polar bears than there's ever fucking been.
But the point is, every time they make these predictions, you can go back in history, they've made these predictions over and over and over and over again. Like you said, there's going to be like peak oil, the hole in the ozone layer, global warming they called it. Now they've rebranded it to climate change, then they rebranded it again to the climate crisis.
The coming ice age?
The coming ice age, that never happened, now we're warming up. Every single time they make these predictions, they are 150,000% wrong. Now, at what point do you look at the same people who keep doing this over and over again and go, you are the boy who cried wolf?
If you're stupid, they don't. Nobody does. That's the problem. And these people are taking this hook, line and sinker because they don't have the capacity to think for themselves. And we're back to this infantilization of the human race because nobody gets to think for themselves anymore.
This is just wait 2 weeks. Remember that over the last 2.5 years? This is just wait 2 weeks on a grand scale. And now, am I saying that there isn't climate change? No, the climate changes. The climate is always in a state of flux. It always changes.
Climate changes. So what?
But exactly.
So what?
Now, people like Gettr, for example, they've got no clue what they're talking about. This girl she hasn't even gone to school, for God's sake, right?
Well, that's probably done her a good turn, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because what's the point in going to school except to become institutionalised and ready for the workplace, which then makes you a little cog in a big machine. And that's how you give your worth to the world, a little cog in a big machine. You are the little cog that just gave and gave and gave until you gave out.
Listen to this.
This is from a box and buried.
Listen to this. This is from Trudy. When my kids were little, the school taught them that every time they have a bath, they kill a polar bear. Mummy was not impressed. I'm going back 25 years.
And there's now, as we said, there's more polar bears now than there was 25 years ago by something like 2,500%.
Well, they look good on the side of a Coca-Cola lorry. That's all I'm going to say, John. Like me a polar bear.
They don't look so good when they've come ashore because there's so many of them competing for all the resources that are still there.
Yep.
That they start eating people. Because that's what's happening.
So to summarise, Oxford County Council, climate changes. You stopping people from going in and out of their little zones is going to make exactly no fucking difference to whether or not the climate changes. This is about control. It's about nothing more. And you are sycophants for wanting to do it to people. And I hope your community, I hope they grow a spine. I hope they grow a backbone and they tell you where to fucking go. Beats Crate says, I love this show. I agree with you guys all the time. We are on the same page. But that's the beauty of this show, Beats. You don't have to agree with us. Militant...
No, you don't.
Militant Mushroom says, for a minute, I thought you was going to say they are good with a side of salad. Well, I've never... Well, first of all, I don't eat salad. Can you tell? Right?
Salad dodgers.
Yep. Second of all, I've never tried polar bear. I'm not adverse to it.
I'm not saying I'd be averse to trying it. No. At least once.
No.
I've eaten most things. I have never eaten snake.
No, I've never eaten snake either. But
I've never knowingly eaten insect.
No, also the same. I tell you, I quite like horse. I do. I think it's very nice.
Well, if you like Burger King, you probably like horse.
I do like Burger King.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Militant Mushroom says he'd give the old polar bear a go. To each our own, correct? Anyway, let's move on to... we're sticking on the theme here, aren't we? We're sticking on the theme.
Yeah.
What has old Emmanuel gone and done over in France?
Well, he wants to ban short-haul domestic flights.
He doesn't want to. They've passed it, haven't they?
Well, the European Parliament has given them the go-ahead to do it. He wants to ban short-haul domestic flights in favour of trains.
Well, that's just taking away choice from people. That's all that's doing.
Planes bad, trains good.
Yeah, but what do they mean by short-haul, though? Because when you fly from Gatwick
in France?
Yeah, but when
in France.
Okay.
No, you can fly from Gatwick to France.
So you
can get on an international flight.
You can get on the 29. You can get on the 29-minute short-haul flight as long as it crosses a border.
Yeah, because that's not a domestic flight. Yeah, it's science. Well, of course it's science.
Science!
Not a domestic flight. It doesn't matter that you can get a train from Paris to the UK. It doesn't matter.
Science.
It's still an international flight, not domestic.
Science.
Shut up already. It's science.
Right, well, when it comes to all of that climate shite, right?
Yeah.
There's only one thing that I think we need to do for now.
Put a pin in it.
Put a fucking pin in it. Put it aside. And there is going to be a put a pin in it t-shirt available in the shop. ChasingDissent.com/shop.
There will be. The shop is under construction at the moment. Now, at the moment, if anyone does go and have a look at the shop, there are items for sale there.
There are.
The shipping costs are quite high.
They are.
This is out with our control. I understand if you have more than one item, though, the shipping cost only goes up by like an extra $1 for each item. So if you did want to purchase more than one thing that would work to your benefit. But I am also looking for alternative suppliers that will bring our shipping costs down.
Because they are simply not our shipping costs. We're using third-party people to do it. But there's a couple of things on there. A put a pin in it t-shirt is in the works. I can promise you that. We'll put a pin in it. Let's put a pin in that and move on to Banksy. What's going on with Banksy and Ukraine? Militant Mushroom says request for a t-shirt that says "ball bag, please." That is that's being made at the moment.
Oh, that's definitely getting made.
Yeah. You're gonna have John's face on that one too.
Right. So I didn't realise. Okay, how long has this clown been out there? This Banksy character.
I don't think Banksy is even a person. I think Banksy
I
is.
don't think so.
I think he's a collection of artists. They just make these templates, don't they? They slap them on the wall, quickly spray them, and then fuck off.
Yeah. So anyway, this thing was stolen. So they cut out the wall and took it away.
Okay.
From a burnt out house.
Okay.
And then the police caught up with them and repatriated it. Because it's worth money, and one thing Ukraine will not give up is money! 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 Apparently there's like half a dozen Banksies now in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
This is bullshit.
I just don't care.
I don't care either.
I don't know what anybody else thinks. I do not care about this person or these people's shit art. I don't.
Yeah, I don't understand why it gets such a. I mean, it's shit. It's shit art.
It is shit.
Just, I mean, I've seen better graffiti, much better graffiti. To be fair.
Yeah.
I don't see the point. In it.
Well, I don't know whether or not I see the point. But moving on, we'll put another pin. We'll put another pin in Banksy because fucking idiot. And we'll move on to this. This is interesting, and I don't know really how much we can delve into this because we're not doctors, we're not scientists, but we can give our opinion on it. And it's this: antibiotics could be given en masse to children to guard against strep A. This in my purview, this just doesn't seem like a great idea.
This is not a great idea because when you start giving antibiotics en masse, what do? There's a couple of things. And yes, we're not doctors, but we're not fucking stupid.
No.
We can read and we understand how certain things work. And one of those things is when you get given antibiotics and you take the course, it kills a lot of the flora and fauna in your gut.
Yeah.
And some of that gut bacteria is good gut bacteria and needed for you to maintain health.
Agreed.
So there's always a risk when you take antibiotics that you're going to do a certain degree of harm. Right?
Well, somebody I know takes antibiotics and gets a yeast infection every single time.
Well, yeah, because they're killing off they're killing off one set of bacteria in favour of another, and these things happen, or one set of bacteria in favour of a fungus. So these things do happen, and it's not a great idea to take antibiotics routinely, and it's not a great idea to mass what would you call mass treat a group of people in a population with antibiotics. That's just a recipe for disaster. Look at all the consternation and uproar about giving cows and sheep and things antibiotics.
I don't think this will happen, by the way.
I don't think it'll happen either, and it shouldn't happen.
I think an adult will step in.
There's a couple of things that shouldn't happen now. You might have to refresh your slides because I've reordered them. I just want to make sure the next one is related to this.
Next one is Pfizer-BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine authorized for use.
Yes. So, why?
That is, and that's as far as I want to go with this particular slide. Is why?
Why?
Why? And that's all I want to ask about that. I don't think,
we're doing too much, and we're doing it too often, right? Mm-hmm. And things like what happened in schools a month ago, where they got something up their nose, and then something else happens.
Well, you read on the literature of the thing that they got up their nose, and it says one of the possible side effects is strep.
Yeah, it does.
It's on the official literature. I've read it myself. I've seen it myself. Before we move on to the next slide, I need to address a question that's been directed to me in the chat, and it's from our wonderful Trudy. She says, "Been dying to say this for weeks. Can't hold back any longer. Ben, how the F can you have a drink with a spoon in your mug?"
This bothers me as well, because I hate drinking with a spoon. Now, if you notice, Ben is such a knob, right? That it's not a normal teaspoon.
Oh, it's a tablespoon there.
It's not a tablespoon. It's a dessert spoon.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, what can you say?
Well, it's more of a fidget thing for my hands, because autism. It's more of a fidget thing, so I'll sit here just sort of playing with the spoon. It's I can't really say much, right? It's just something I do, and I also like to continually stir me drink.
So, speaking of things that you just do, apparently the feds are probing Musk's neural link over animal tests.
Well, I'm not shocked.
And unnecessary deaths. I'm not shocked either, and it probably should have came to light a wee bit before this, because, most of this stuff happened in 2015, 2016.
Yeah. Oh.
So they've been a bit tardy.
They're only doing it now because they're finding any way they can to get at Elon Musk because of these so-called Twitter files, right?
Yeah.
That's the only reason they're doing it, but it is a bit late, because I know Elon Musk is the figurehead and face of Neuralink, but he didn't design it. He's not the one sticking the chip in the brains, right? It's just another company that he owns, and I'm not sure that people who have the idea, I know, we'll make a chip and we'll shove it in the brain of a monkey. Maybe they shouldn't be given unlimited funding and labs to work in. Seems like a recipe for disaster, this whole Neuralink thing. We spoke about it on Sonia Poulton's show on Monday morning.
Yeah. And we spoke about it in our own show as well.
We did. We did. It seems to me like a recipe for disaster. It bothers me, it worries me, because, like I said over on Sonia Poulton's show, this is all about intent for me. And if it really is the intent just to help the sick and disabled people maybe regain motor functions and things like that, I'm all for it. But you don't know who's doing it, you don't know why they're doing it, and you don't know their intent. And as I said over there, people can call me crazy, but if you can control it, can it control you? You just don't know, and it's tough. It's a tough one, because it is a real moral argument more than anything. But yeah, these monkeys died in agony, didn't they, John?
Yeah, they did, apparently.
And that's no good. That is no good indeed. Now, before we do move on, I would like to ask you, if you are watching on Twitch, why? Please come and watch over on YouTube. I know we stream on Twitch, but it's more of a backup these days. And secondly, if you're enjoying the show, then just hit that like button. Hit that like button, because the more likes we get during the live stream, the more the algorithm pushes the show out. So like. And if you're not subscribed, please do. And if you, one more thing that is totally free, just click that share button. Get your friends, get your family, tell them we're here. Come have a good time. That's what we're here for. Anyway, John, should we move on?
Speaking about dying in agony, the defense of the Ukraine they seem to be getting increasingly desperate, and they're putting out all sorts of shit. Now, I don't know if you saw this video.
I did.
It's so fucking bad.
I mean, that's definitely not a soldier. That's definitely that's a professional dancer.
Yeah, but she's not a soldier anyway. I mean, unless the Ukraine army fucking issue jeggings. Do they issue, fucking camouflage jeggings?
Well, all I'm saying to you
is... no way she's a soldier. Soldier. She's no way she's a soldier. And if she was, she's just asking to be getting
How is
sniped.
this Twitter account still a thing?
It promotes war. It promotes violence. It glorifies violence.
Yep.
Yeah, it does everything that you're not supposed to do on Twitter. In fact, it does things on Twitter that I get banned for.
What, you mean like making
Except
jokes?
I made it. I made a joke.
You know what? We're still banned on Twitter.
I mean,
we don't know why.
every day that Twitter account publishes the amount of people that have allegedly been killed by Ukraine, right?
And
every
celebrates
day,
it.
And publishes it in the hundreds. I mean, they say they've killed. I mean, they now say they've killed like over 90,000 Russian soldiers.
I don't think they have. I'm just saying, I don't think they have.
Well, you know what? I don't believe a thing they say because they've been caught out so many times being wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
being complete and utter arseholes. I can't understand how that's not a parody account.
Their president.
I keep thinking it is a parody account.
Their president, an actor. Yep, an actor who is now, you know, I don't know the full context, but now banning parts of an Orthodox church and.
Well, it's a Russian Orthodox church, and he's banning it from Ukraine.
Well, it's
it's
a bit more complicated than just he's banning it. But he's banning that or parts of that. He's banned his opposition. He's had his opposition
he
banned.
Not only banned his opposition, he jailed his opposition.
It's sounding more and more like a. Put it this way. It sounds to me.
He's Time Magazine's Man of the Year now, don't you know?
Listen, Vladimir and Vladimir might as well be the same person.
Well, I tell you, I think he's more akin to the unholy organist.
We're not going there, John.
Well, I think the man's more like the unholy organist than he is anyone else.
All I'm saying is,
and if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up.
I do. I do, but all I'm saying is
Time Magazine used to put the man on the cover because he was the most newsworthy, and not necessarily because he was considered the best person.
Well, exactly. You're absolutely right, and that's why Adolf was on the cover of Time Magazine as the Man of the Year. More than once. Because they were newsworthy, they were noteworthy. It was something worth talking about. Now, is anybody praising Adolf here? God, no. Fuck Adolf. Right?
No.
I mean...
Mussolini, on the other hand, he made the trains run on time.
Moving on, John, moving on. Sticking with the government of Ukraine. From the 10th of November 2022, government portal official website, the Ministry of Economy of Ukraine and BlackRock, the world's largest investment company, have signed a memorandum of understanding agreeing on a framework for consultative assistance in developing a special platform to attract private capital for the recovery and support of Ukraine.
I'll bet you fucking have. You fucking money-grabbing bastards. And Ukraine really is the most corrupt country in Europe.
Yeah.
It continues to be so, and it obviously is going to cement that position for the foreseeable future.
And nobody here is saying Russia good. Nobody is saying Russia good. No. We're just seeing bad versus bad. And I'm not falling down on the side of one of the bads, right? The only people that I will advocate for, both within Russia and Ukraine, the ordinary folk, the ordinary citizens, people like you, me, and everybody else that just want to be left alone, get the fuck on with their day, raise their kids, enjoy their lives, maybe make a little something of themselves. Right? They are the people that matter. The people in charge, the Vladimir Putins, the Vladimir Zelenskys, the fucking... whatever his name is, Rishi Sunaks, the Ursula von der Leyen. These people are scum. They are evil, and they rule you. You let them, and you vote for them. Not von der Leyen, but these people don't matter. Their wars are none of my concern. My concern is whether or not the ordinary Joe that's delivering his milk on a round, has got a couple of kids at home, is going to be affected, is going to be bombed out of his house. That's my concern. And that's, I think, the concern of this show. We don't give two fucks about the leaders. They're all wrong. They're all evil. And if they've wanted to put themselves in a position of power, you can almost guarantee they wanted to do it for selfish reasons.
Speaking of selfish reasons, what's Starmer up to? So apparently he's pledged to abolish the House of Lords. Is this just a play to try and get voted in? Because he would actually be in the House of Lords, wouldn't he?
Is he Lord?
He's Sir. He's a Sir.
That's not a Lord.
Is that not...
A Lord is a Lord, like Lord Sugar.
Oh, right, okay.
But no, he wouldn't be in the House of Lords. But this is first of all, this is actually something I agree with. Abolishing the House of Lords, I agree with it completely. So is he using things like this to appeal to people who maybe broke away from the red wall to vote blue? To bring them back. Bring them back. Is this just because he won't do it? He won't do it. And the thing is, how is he going to do it? Because doesn't parliamentary assent involve the House of Lords? It's just going to go. They're going to vote on it. It's going to go to the Lords, and they're going to go. We're not going to let that go. No, send it back. Send it back, boys. How does he plan to do this?
I don't know, because you can't change the law without the House of Lords.
Exactly, and they go, "Oh, well, we're on cushy salaries in an unelected position, and we don't really have to do fuck all. What are we going to do? Are we going to abolish our positions? No, I don't think we shall.
I can't countenance this at all, old boy. Send it back.
Send it back, boys. Send it back. Make a little bit of an amendment today. If you want to abolish the House of Lords, you're going to have to give us full salary for life." It's probably something like that. But no, it's not going to happen. Keir Starmer's obviously using this as a play to get votes, obviously, because that's all they do. Will it work? Maybe, because people are stupid enough to believe it. Anyway, let's move on to our good friend, President Sleepy Joe. What's he got for us today, John?
Well, much like we showed on Monday, the adverts for if you were stuck for a gift, you know. and the NHS, remember promoting their Christmas thing. So President Biden himself has suggested you get your updated treat before the holidays. So what is it with America that they cannot say Christmas? They just cannot say Christmas. The Democrats in particular cannot say Christmas.
They won't say Christmas because it's offensive. I don't know, because have you seen them articles actually recently? There have been some articles recently.
Hold on a minute. But they're always going on about things like Eid, whatever that is, Ramadan and all that shit, right? But you can't say Christmas.
No, because, you know who predominantly celebrate Christmas is white evangelical people. Christians, right?
Yeah, not Jewish people.
But the thing is, Christmas is such a big industry, and that's what it is. It is an industry, right? That everybody in Western nations celebrates it in one form or another, because it is what it is. I mean, we're sitting here in Christmas fucking hats right now. Why are they red and white? Because Coca-Cola made Santa red and white. It's all industry, it's all business, and it's all about money. And the idea of Christmas, the spirit of Christmas, the pagan holiday that was stolen by Christianity, or appropriated, shall we say, is gone. It's lost. So why not just say it? I don't know. I don't know why they don't do it. At the end of the day, maybe they're going, maybe it is a bit offensive. But they will say...
Happy holidays.
But they'll say Happy Hanukkah, for example. Like you say, and they'll say Eid Mubarak, and they'll say these things. But when it comes to Christmas, a lot of the time they will skirt around it. Happy holidays. Fucking December 25th is Christmas Day. I'm not a Christian. I don't think you're a Christian, but we will celebrate it. We'll give gifts to our kids. There'll be. I'm doing roast turkey, gammon, and beef. Gonna be lovely, right? I bought the joints. They're in the freezer already. But we have that nice day. We watch shit TV. We watch shitty food. We come together. And that's what it's about for me. I don't really care about the presents or anything like that, but it's just a nice day to spend with your family.
Yeah.
And you can just say Merry Christmas. I don't see the problem with it. It's one day, for fuck's sake. It's up all over Tesco's, you know?
Yeah.
But political correctness, John. Political correctness.
Yeah, that's what it is, mate. I know. I know the answer. I just like to be contrary,
Speaking of knowing the answer, we move to our neighbours in France.
Well, and you might not like this, but I think Macron's right.
So do I.
Yeah, I think he's right.
He
seems to be the only one, right, in Europe that's trying to seek a resolution to this fucking carry on that's going on.
But the broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, but everybody else is stirring it. Everybody else, especially the ambassador to Russia and the US, right? That guy, what's his name? Falls.
No, don't care.
Right? McFall, whatever. He's a complete and utter warmonger. But Macron seems to be the only one that's trying to tone this down and trying to seek a peaceful solution. And for that, you've got to give him a degree of credit.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, I'll read the tweet from Viktor Orban. It says President Emmanuel Macron is right, and if Viktor Orban's saying he's right, that's it's almost like the occult has come and taken over Viktor Orban's mind or something. But no. The cost of the Russia-Ukraine war is not the same on both sides of the Atlantic. If we want the European industry to survive, we must address the European energy crisis swiftly. It's high time to reevaluate Russian sanctions. And I absolutely agree with you. At the end of the day, if you don't reevaluate these sanctions, people are going to die, right? People are going to die in European nations, and
I would think people have already started.
Yeah, it's getting really cold. It is getting bitterly cold. Last night when we came out to when I came out to do the stream with you guys, it was 1 degree.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, that is getting cold.
Yeah, it was 1 degree here. Obviously,
I think it's time that they really fucking stop this carry on with Ukraine and Russia.
No, I agree.
And sorted it out one way or the other. And that sorting it out, in my view, needs to be sat down and talking to each other.
Which they should have done before Boris Johnson told them fucking not to.
Exactly. They had the opportunity. Everything was looking good. They'd both gone back to their respective sides saying that it was quite feasible that a deal would be on the table. And the next thing you know, Zelensky turns around and goes, no.
Speaking of a broken clock being right twice a day, and we might differ on this, but Matt Hancock backs Commons' vote on legalising assisted dying. The former health secretary told MPs that it was time for an informed, compassionate debate on assisted dying. Broken clock is right twice a day, because I am a proponent of, in very, very specific certain circumstances, people being allowed assisted dying. I mean, I personally, in my position, as I deteriorate year on year, I've always said to my wife, when I can't wipe my arse, dear, it's time to go.
Yeah, okay. So, I'm with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm not with you on is how I think it might progress in this country to become very similar to what's happening in Canada right now.
No, that's my concern.
That would be where I would be worried.
That is my concern as well, because like I said, like someone, for example, in a position where they're essentially locked in their own body, they can't look after themselves, they can't take care of themselves, and all they want to do is go with some dignity left, if they have any. That I completely agree with. But what's going on in Canada terrifies me. I mean, we did see like a 20-something-year-old girl be euthanized because she had depression. That can't be allowed.
That's sick.
It's sick.
Almost makes me want to cry, and I'm not prone to crying.
No, I agree with you. It is sick. It is wrong. Militant Mushroom says, doesn't he have game in us? He may well. I don't know, is the answer.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he's right. I can't believe I'm saying that, but he is right that a debate does need to be had, because people in these conditions shouldn't have to be being flown abroad to have these choices given to them. People should have their own agency, and people in these certain specific circumstances where they're terminal, they're in terrible pain, they can no longer take care of themselves, they should have that dignified option. They really should. And it saddens me that they don't. Trudy says it will end up, I can't afford my weekly shop. Oh, that's okay. We can kill you.
Yeah, well, I'd like a stair lift. Oh, are you sure you wouldn't rather die?
Yeah, and that actually happened, didn't it, in Canada?
Yeah, in Canada, yeah. I'm phoning up. I'd like some assistance to buy a stair lift. If it's all getting too much for you, we can help you with dying. Where did that come from?
Yeah. I mean, Matt Hancock's still an absolute scumbag, right? Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong, because I said.
I mean, but you know what? The problem is, if you're reasonable and well balanced, there will be times when you have to agree with people that you don't like.
Yeah, sometimes.
Like Macron. I don't like Macron. I think he's a horrible little dwarfish gnome.
Oh man, we should do an advert. We should do a sketch, John.
Oh yeah.
We should do a sketch.
Yeah, we should. I
am putting one hell of a pin in that.
Oh, Jesus.
We are doing a sketch.
Right. Moving on.
Moving on to the.
Did you watch Squid Game? Did you ever watch it?
I watched parts of it.
Do you remember number one? The old creepy guy.
Yeah.
Who has been arrested for sexual misconduct in Japan.
In Japan, or is it in South Korea?
Oh, hey, sorry, South Korea. Yeah.
Right.
So the old creepy guy who looked like a perv is a perv.
Well, no. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty.
Oh, okay. So the old creepy guy who allegedly looked like a perv is allegedly a perv.
Same with the guy. Did you watch Ms. Marvel?
No.
So Ms. Marvel came out on Disney Plus earlier this year, and it was intolerable. But Ms. Marvel's father is played by an actor called Mohan Kapoor, right?
Uh-huh.
And Mohan Kapoor has just been Me-Too'd by a very, very young girl. She's been Me-Too'd. And it's quite interesting because she has the receipts, it would seem, including him asking her to send nudes.
Yeah, perverse.
But it looks currently like Marvel are going to do nothing. He is going to continue in the MCU. He's going to continue as an actor. The MCU, yes. It looks like they're going to do nothing because there are no charges, right? And only at that point will Marvel step in. Otherwise, they'll say this is, it's just hearsay, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the girl does appear to have receipts, including him saying, I only asked you to send me, this is what he said, I only asked you to send me those pictures so that I know that I can trust you. Very interesting, isn't it? But, innocent until proven guilty and all of that.
Yeah, indeed.
But this seems to be happening with these older gentlemen in these productions. It's becoming a theme, isn't it? Bill Cosby.
Well, let's be honest, right? Let's be honest, okay? Hollywood has been a den of iniquity since conception.
Absolutely.
It's never been a nice.
Absolutely.
Right? And people, I mean, it wasn't known as a casting couch for nothing. You know, there's definitely no smoke without some fire. You know,
the stories those couches could tell.
Yeah, and you know what? Everybody that was involved in that industry, in most cases, is trading something for something, right? And most of them are trading something for something in the knowledge that that's what's happening. So they're aware and they're doing it for this reason to get this to be this. Because you don't get to be like a superstar without having some skeletons in the closet, I would imagine. Now, what bugs me...
We're superstars, John?
Yeah, not quite. But what bugs me are the kids that were involved, the ones who, like the Coreys, you know, who were probably too young.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one that's
understand the Drew Barrymore. I was going to say,
Drew Barrymore's the one that always got me. I believe she was hooked on cocaine as a kid filming E.T., wasn't she?
Well, nobody fucking should have to go to rehab when they're 12.
Well, no, you're absolutely right. And at the end of the day, that would have been done, especially on such a young child, with the full knowledge of the studio, with the full knowledge of the director, which was Steven Spielberg at the time, right?
Yeah, possibly with the knowledge of the parents.
Probably with the knowledge of the parents. And all of these things are absolutely wrong. They are absolutely wrong. And I tell you what, who else is absolutely wrong? And these two things don't really coincide. Is Angela Rayner, John.
Her beautiful ginger red-headed deputy leader of the opposition.
The ginger growler. Oi.
So Angela Rayner makes some really stupid statements at times, I think.
Yeah.
And this is one in particular.
Yeah.
First of all, Angela, see those 2 weeks to allow the NHS time to prepare. That was how it started.
Yep.
Right? 2 weeks to allow the NHS time to prepare.
Yep.
And then 3 weeks to save the NHS, and then 6 months to save the NHS, then a year to save the NHS. Look at the fucking state the NHS is in now, right? And you, Angela, voted for that.
You did. You absolutely
voted for,
did.
in fact, if I recall correctly, you wanted tougher restrictions, which would have put the NHS in an even worse state.
You and your ginger growler could have put the NHS in a worse state, Angela.
Yeah. And then you'd make this ridiculous statement about non-DOMs, right? So first of all, if there's a system and people are using it, by all means change the system, right? But think it through before you do so, because what are you going to say?
I said, as Donald Trump said, you won't. Because the people that donate to you also use that system.
Yeah, but think it through, Angela, right? Because if you do away with these things, there's a good chance those people will just leave.
Exactly.
You won't get the money, right? And if they leave, not only will you not get the money, you'll not get the benefits of them being here, which, although you may think they're a little because they're just basically getting a free ride, but they're probably employing a lot of people in this country and giving people jobs, right?
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that you have to consider is all the wealthiest countries in the world, right, do not tax their citizens. The most wealthiest countries in the world do not tax their citizens. Now think about that, right? So if they can do it, why can't we? Because taxation is theft.
It is. Taxation is indeed theft.
And it's theft that is backed up by actual and threats of violence.
Yes. Absolutely.
State-sanctioned violence.
Absolutely it is. Speaking of state-sanctioned violence, let's move on to what Germany are now saying they have, which is 2 days of ammunition after 9 months of war in Ukraine. All NATO countries are short of shells, but thanks to cuts and complacency, the situation is particularly acute in Germany. So what are they trying to tell you here? That Germany is ripe for invasion?
Ripe for the takeover.
Is that what they're trying to say?
I don't know what they're saying. No, what they're trying to do is, they're trying to subtly say Russia can overrun us, right? Now, I still have no doubt in my mind that it is not Russia's intention to overrun Germany. Right? No. It doesn't need the hassle.
No, it doesn't.
Right? It's got enough on its plate with what it's doing with its special military operation in Ukraine.
Yep.
So I don't think Russia has any intention of overrunning Germany, but what Germany's trying to do is whip up support for more spending on defence and more spending in Ukraine.
I'm sorry I'm laughing, but the next slide pertains to Germany as well, and this is just nuts.
Yeah.
This is just nuts. I'm going to show him. Shall I show him?
Yeah, go on.
German euthanasia group says it will only carry out assisted suicides on people vaccinated against the coof. What?
Now, we've had a very similar one to this before, a few months ago. I think it was Canada that said much the same thing.
That's ridiculous. That's utterly ridiculous. So you go and you have to have a certain medication in your system to die.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get assisted suicide unless you are vaccinated.
Please, sir, I need to. What? what? Just what?
I know it doesn't make any kind of sense, does it?
Nope. We're putting a fucking pin in this, John. I can't. I can't with the state of this world. I just can't.
You can't what?
I can't understand the stupid fucking decisions that some people make. I can't understand it. Help me. Help me understand this.
Well, I tell you what, we're moving into the more light-hearted version of the show. So let's put a pin in it and move forward, as you would say.
Right, so this from the Home Office. Breaking: suspected people smuggling ring smashed. As 3 arrests are made in South London, we will continue to go after the organised criminals abusing our borders.
Right, so I'm reading that and I'm thinking, you are having a fucking laugh.
Please do expand. Tell me why.
Well, a people smuggling ring smashed as 3 arrests are made.
Yeah.
How many people came over our borders over the last year?
It's significant. Right? It's significant.
No, it's not. It's bullshit. It's the Home Office trying to put a positive spin on something they're doing, when really all they're doing is letting as many people as they like into the country.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. I know you say it's light-hearted, but really it's just sad, isn't it? It's just sad. At the end of the day. Yeah, we got 3 of them, boys. Job well done. Yeah. Here come on, lads. We got them. We can go home. We can put our feet up. We can have a cup of tea for a job well done. All the while, in the time that they've arrested those 3 people, how many have come over? In that same, it'd be more than 3.
I mean, what, thousands?
In the time that operation took, I'd say thousands. So, thousands. But we got 3 of them, lads. Come on, we can go home and we can say we did a fantastic job.
So, Jeremy Vile, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I was gonna let this go, but then I thought, why? This guy's such a clown.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he really is such a clown because he's just trying to jump on a bandwagon here.
Yeah, of course he is.
And
he's a racist fuck pig. Sorry.
But he needs to go broke.
Well,
so he needs to be one of the go woke, go broke guys. I have no regard for this man whatsoever.
I'm quite happy to call him, in my opinion, a racist, right? Anyone that jumps on this bandwagon, jumps on this train and starts criticising things because of the colour of people's skin, should I say, sorry, is a racist. Yeah. And that's right at the top, isn't it? Nearly everyone is white. So what?
Well, let's go through these points, right? All the red flags in Love Actually. A film, which means it's a story.
A light-hearted Christmas film, which it's sickeningly a guilty pleasure of mine, simply for Bill Nighy.
Which means it's a fiction.
Yes.
Okay. So there's no basis in real life. So nearly everyone is white. It's set in the UK. Nearly everyone is white.
Yep.
And you may not think that, depending on where you live, but in the UK today, still nearly everyone is white.
Imagine like a Japanese film, and people criticising it because nearly everyone is Japanese.
Yeah.
You just don't see that criticism, do you? This ire, this criticism, and this self-hatred from Jeremy Vine, essentially. It's racist self-hatred. It's only ever, unacceptably, aimed at people of white skin.
So number 2, Mark is clearly a stalker. Well, he's not really that bad.
No.
You know? He's not really a stalker. But on the other hand, Jeremy, you and your researchers are stalkers. Are you not?
Well, if we can use the argument that he made against other people, it's certainly against him, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Number 3, all the couples are straight. And you know what, Jeremy? Nearly all the couples in the UK are straight.
Yeah, the vast majority of people are. Do you have to represent people of other sexual orientations? I would say not. And at the same time, if you wanted to, fair game. It doesn't matter.
Fourthly, they fat shame Natalie. Now, hold on a minute. Is she fat? Yeah, she's a bit chunky.
A bit chunky.
Right, so they're not really fat shaming her, they're just stating facts.
Well, and not only that, like I said, fat shaming, I said this on Sonia Bolton's show, right? Fat shaming kind of works. And I mean that because I was 10 stone heavier than I am now, right? I put a picture of myself, big, fat, and horrid looking, up in front of me to punish myself every single day in order to get myself to still fat, by the way, but not like I was. And, when you actually do look at yourself, and I was on the cusp of diabetes, by the way, I've reversed that. No diabetes now, right?
Even though he still consumes an inordinate amount of sugar.
A lot of sugar, yeah. A lot of sugar. Not sugary foods, really, but it's all through the drink. But the final point here is all the women seem to be controlled by men. Do they?
You think? Really? You think? Yeah. All the women allow the men to think they are controlling them. Perhaps that might be more like it.
Because I'm in a real marriage, and I'm in a real marriage, and there are a lot of mind games that go on sometimes. That's all I'm saying. There are a lot of mind games.
Yeah. Yes, there are.
Speaking
of mind games, So speaking of mind games, Audi have decided to scrap their Artemis autonomous driving project, and have come up with a new software roadmap that might see them ready by the year 2030. Okay, so now remember that Tesla are already out there with their beta of autonomous driving, right? So Elon Musk tweets to this. That's bold, right?
Yeah, he does.
And someone replied to Elon saying, I think it was something to do that all their cars wanted to invade Poland. I thought it was humorous. Anyway.
Met Office warns people not to go out without telling someone.
When have you fucking heard so much nonsense in your life? It's -1 outside, and they tell you, don't go out without telling someone you've left the house. Fuck off.
They can come and find you.
This is ridiculous.
You might make it 6 steps down the garden path before you turn into Frosty the fucking Snowman.
Fucking hell. I mean, I remember walking home from the town, when I was on a Christmas night out or something like that. I was half cut. It was like -5. I was walking 3 or 4 miles, and I never fucking told anyone where I was going. I just went home,
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever
The
fucking
nanny
heard.
state.
It is the nanny state.
It is the nanny state. It is the nanny state.
The next slide. I think Zelensky might be trying to up his game.
Still green.
I'm not saying it's Zelensky, but...
Who is it? Who is it, John?
It's nobody.
Who is it, John?
It does look a bit like Zelensky, doesn't it? It's not me.
Do you know what? I'm going to say something here.
What are you going to say?
I want that. I want that. For the Chasing Dissent Christmas Bash, wouldn't it be great to see me in that?
Dressed as a Christmas tree.
Dressed as a Christmas tree, singing them songs. What do you think of that? If anybody would like to donate, you can do so via the ball link at paypal.me/WillyBricks, and I will get that. If somebody works out how much that is, I'll get that. You want to buy it for me, I'll get it.
Speaking of balls, right?
What the actual fuck is that?
What is that? Well, my first take on that was all the King's men and all the King's horses did manage to get Humpty Dumpty back together again.
See, my thoughts were the Little Mermaid let herself go.
What the fuck? I mean, all that picture does is just pose questions.
She finally the Little Mermaid. She's finally made it onto land. Right, she's where she wants to be, and this is the result. This is the result.
Right, and since we're past the hour, the last slide brought to us by the New York Post, the gift that keeps on giving, right? It's as bad as the headline is, right?
But do you know what my problem is? Do you know what? Not just my issue. Do you know what? He looks like he would.
Yeah. So,
doesn't he?
Florida man busted for public sex with dog, wrecking church nativity scene. Okay, so yes, he had sex with a dog in front of a church, and then wrecked the nativity scene as he tried to escape from the enraged onlookers.
I was just trying to create the new baby Jesus.
Oh, there you go.
My mama told me that there was a donkey. Couldn't find a donkey, just found a dog.
That is a classic.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Let me read to you.
What?
A Florida man went on a deranged rampage in which he had sex with a dog in front of horrified families.
Oh my God.
And then destroyed a church nativity while trying to escape from the enraged onlookers. Chad Mason.
And his name's Chad. Of course his name is Chad. Of course his name is...
36. Allegedly began his sick crime spree while walking a friend's Labradoodle.
Oh, that poor dog.
They are attractive dogs, old Labradoodles.
Not
And
like
they're
that,
quite
they're
big.
fucking not, John.
They're quite big. In a quiet neighbourhood in Clearwater. At one point,
and it's in Scientologyville. They're all fucking crazy over there.
And at one point, he began fornicating with the animal in full view of several spectators, including a child.
Chad.
An adult confronted him during the act, and he ran towards a nearby Northwood Presbyterian church, where he toppled a Christmas nativity scene and smashed several potted plants that had been put out for display. When he was confronted by someone at the apartment complex there, he ran from the scene and began to wreak havoc in the surrounding areas, authorities said. Oh, Chad, what have you done? What have you become?
Well, like Trudy and Natasha said, Chad been bad.
Chad been bad.
Right. Hope you've enjoyed this one. I really do. I've enjoyed this one a lot. If you really do enjoy it, then please make sure you've clicked that like button. Please make sure you are subscribed, and just share it. Share it on After, because it's available for rewatch at any time. I've enjoyed this one. Really, I have. If you would like to support us, you can do so by becoming a patron at patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, or doing the same thing through Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent. You can sponsor my balls. A few of them on the Christmas tree here. You get a ball on the Christmas tree with a message and your name. You can do so by paying £10 or whatever. If you want to pay more, I'll certainly accept it. At paypal.me/WheelieBreaks. Make sure you put your short message and your name in that. John, over to you, my friend.
Yes, and if you wish to contribute to my personal campaign to repair my van and home, then just drop something in Ko-fi with a message.
Yes.
But thank you very much for everyone who has donated and for everyone who will donate, because I'm sure some of you will. Again,
And don't forget the merch store.
Oh, and don't forget the merch, because we're working on that. We'll get more stuff in there, and I am trying to bring the costs down.
ChasingDescent.com/shop.
Yep. For this, I'd like to say thank you for attending episode 171 of Chasing Dissent Live with me, John, and Ben. Good day. It's been great.
For you.